Now, the company that ran the mine, where Klaus worked as a contractor, was called Rio Tinto. And they had, you're not going to be surprised to hear that this illegal uranium mine company has an evil history, but they have like a comically evil history.
Yeah, like I feel like I've heard that name before.
Oh, yeah. So in the late 1930s, Rio Tinto had called on Francisco Franco to use his soldiers to crush left-wing miners protesting against bad working conditions in Spain. The head of the company at the time, Sir Auckland Geddes, which is such an evil mine owner's name. What an amazing evil mine owner name. Sir Auckland Geddes, Jesus. Geddes bragged that, quote, miners found guilty of troublemaking are court-martialed and shot. Big fan of Franco, the leaders of Rio Tinto. As another interesting side note, Noah, Rio Tinto was also a major source of raw materials for the Nazi rearmament campaign. These are the guys that build the Wehrmacht back up into fighting shape. Thank God, where would we be without Rio Tinto?
My God. It's like LexCorp or something.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Now, by the early 70s, there were no more Nazis to arm, so Rio set about finding their next best equivalent, which is, of course, apartheid South Africa, right? Now, since they're running an illegal uranium mine in occupied Namibia, they're like, why not go full fascist? And they decide to operate their facilities in Namibia like a concentration camp. And I'm going to quote from an article by the London Mining Network here. Black workers constructing the Rossing uranium mine lived in appalling conditions in temporary camps, which researchers found akin to slavery. By akin to slavery, it means that actually leaving work for any meaning, but being for any reason, but being dismissed by your manager was a crime. Workers who misplaced or forgot their ID badge could be jailed. Now, the fact that someone might get hired to consult at such a mine doesn't imply that they were involved with setting up or executing any of these policies, but it does suggest that one was broadly fine with them, as Max Chafkin writes. A contract laborer on the construction project, the project Klaus's company was helping to oversee, who said workers had not been told they were building a uranium mine and were thus unaware of the risks of radiation. The only clue had been that white employees would hand out wages from behind glass, seemingly trying to avoid contamination themselves. The report mentioned workers dying like flies in 1976 while the mine was under construction. So
this is so bad.
This is pretty evil. Pretty evil.
So it's an illegal apartheid uranium mining concentration camp.
Yeah, that's Peter's dad's job and some of his earliest memories as a kid.
And he's disturbed by, like, Bessie the cow getting
he's
killed.
He's disturbed by cows dying?
What?
I don't know, Peter, if you want to end death, the first step might be ending illegal uranium mines.
Right.
If you just care about death as a concept.
Dude, I cannot believe how cartoonish this is.
It's so funny. It's like the funniest backstory he could have. Just being the guy he is, coming from this as a background. Like a lot of these guys, like Elon Musk, there's this period of time in Musk's backstory is like, oh, well, he has this kid who's moved around a bunch. His family sucks. His dad's this abusive monster. He's bullied as a kid. I can see how a couple of different kinds of kid could have come out of this. Some of them who would have been a lot better than Musk was, right? Maybe he wasn't always destined to be the kind of guy he is. With Thiel, you're like, oh, yeah. No, this childhood was tailor-made to produce Peter Thiel.
Yeah, totally.